comfortable while doing your job.
Oh, man. Well, Lauren, Nicole, it's so good to have you in the studio. How are you?
I'm good, and you? Thank you for having me.
It's such an honor. And I was just saying it to everybody here. It's been so long since I last saw you. And I know this is more on a professional basis, but I mean, come on.
I know. It's been a while.
Now, if you do not know who is in studio with us, Lauren and Nicole is in studio. So I just have one question for you. Apart from the rest of the questions, how does one become the beauty editor of one of the biggest lifestyle magazines in the world? How did you get into that space?
Sure. Well, it's a bit of a long story. It's years of hard work, years of, being in different spaces within a magazine. I started out as a lifestyle intern, then lifestyle assistant, and then moved on to a lifestyle coordinator. I was beauty editor for Destiny magazine at Indalo Media, and then I got promoted to L.
Oof.
Yeah.
Talk about money moves, Carl.
Throughout that whole journey, I mean,
Level.
yeah, exactly.
The next level. Like, she just went from one rail.
Like so many times people have the question of like, well, tell us a bit about your journey, and that really is the journey of like step after step after step. Who, I mean, you've been like grateful enough to work with so many amazing people, especially with Destiny Man and Elle magazine in particularly.
Yeah.
Who was the coolest guy or girl that you've ever worked with?
Sure, there have been so many, but I'd have to say standouts for me would be, of course, the legend Black Coffee.
Of course.
So he was incredible to work with. On the L side, obviously, it's all the incredible women that we feature.
Sure.
We celebrate women every day. But I would say Loot Love has been standout for us.
Awesome.
And there's plenty of women that they all inspire me. So I'm happy to meet all of them.
Looking at your journey and where you are now, when you started as an intern, what is that one memory you'll never forget? That day when you were like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, it's too much for me. They were like, hey, Lauren, we need this report now in 20 minutes. Right, great. Get it done right now. Do you still remember that day, that hectic day?
I do. There were a few. I mean, media is no easy feat.
So no coffee throwing moments, right?
No. Making lots of coffee for photographers and makeup artists and models. I made a lot of coffee, as well as kept everybody like cool on set and fed them. But I'd say standout moments were probably when I was assisting in fashion. Fashion is hardcore. It's a lot of work. You are sourcing in stores. You are carrying heavy things. You are responsible for very expensive items.
Yeah.
And I had actually, something on one of my shoots got broken, and I had to pay for it. And and you learn the hard way. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to this game. But yeah, I just want to let people know you work hard.
Carl, you heard that? It's not just Champers, darling.
Darling.
Yeah.
I'm so gonna.
It's not just Champers, darling.
No, not at all.
And Bubbles. No.
I'm going to put you on the spot. In one sentence, what describes your day-to-day activities since you joined Elle?
Sure. Okay. So I produce well-researched beauty content for print and online. I produce shoots, so it can involve anything from calling model agencies, calling photographers, booking those shoots in, as well as, testing out a ton of beauty products.
Sure.
Liaising with the team, meeting editorial meetings. We've got meetings all the time, and I often go to launches, so often that's like thrown in the mix. So yeah.
What? How do you balance that with being a mom? You're a mom, right?
Yes, I am.
Are you that super mom that's just like, you know what? After 5 p.m., work is done. Are you one of those moms?
I think after 5 p.m. work just begins, right?
Exactly. Work begins. No, I have an incredible husband who supports me fully. And I mean, obviously I get home and I've got some work to do at night. But I always put time for my son. I read him a book at bedtime. But I don't think you ever are that superwoman mom. I think as a working mother, you need to kind of try find that balance. But I don't think there is that balance, to be honest. You just need to give each person in your life like that perfect time, you know, that one-on-one
it's an
time.
ancient proverb. I mean, what helps you keep organized, you know, being in such a like high-profile job and having a family?
Yeah. Do you have an assistant? Do you have a calendar on your phone that just keeps everything going? What's your magic?
I have a few calendars, and yes, I have an amazing assistant. I'm actually training up a new assistant currently, and my previous assistant was like my rock. She was incredible, Boosie. And yeah, I mean, I have an assistant, but also I think over the years you just learn to be super organized in this game. And I don't think I've quite perfected it.
Yeah.
I think we all wing it really and fake it till we make it. So
Look at Carl. He's standing here. He hasn't slept in weeks. He's standing here doing a 3-hour show, but he hasn't slept in weeks.
Yes,
That's
and he's
Carl.
here.
Here we are,
He's
putting
doing
on
it.
a smile. Yeah, cameras all over the place. No, you know, what I always find fascinating, and it's always a question that I have for people that are in print media and traditional media, how have you found the transition between people receiving digital content via L and obviously in print? Has it affected the actual physical copy sales and readers versus online?
Well, we're in a very interesting balance at the moment with regards to print and digital media.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can speak for Elle. You know, we are really working hard at our digital platforms to help grow those. The Elle Reader, she's sexy, stylish, spirited, and she's very digitally savvy. So we're trying our best to, you know, get a good balance between print and online. But yeah, it's every day it changes, you know, the ballpark changes.
Of course.
And we're trying everything we can to just like, I don't think, like I say, I don't think that balance, you ever get that balance right, but we're trying.
And you'd always use one or the other to promote one or the other, you know, so don't put something on social media that's in your magazine and vice versa.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
But still, you know, like it's always going to be, there's always going to be that challenge regardless.
Definitely.
You know, you can never actually get away from that. But also, I also think, especially with Elle, there's nothing quite like holding the magazine, right?
Exactly. It's tangible, and a lot of, you know, love and work and thoughtful, you know, innovative ideas go into producing a print publication.
Yeah.
And it's like a huge team effort. And print is beautiful. I mean, the shoots are absolutely stunning. The content is there. Not to say, I mean, digital can just be just as beautiful. But I think being able to hold that mag,
Yeah.
you know, I love magazines.
It's a stronger
Hold
connection.
it in your
Yes,
hand.
it's a stronger connection. You like,
For
look at Luke
sure.
Love.
Yeah.
Look at her. Oh, you can actually feel. You're like, oh, Lutie.
Yeah,
Oh, my
for
lovely
sure.
Ludi. All right, hanging out with Lauren Nicol in studio, the beauty editor of our magazine. Hit us up on social media. Any questions you have for her? Perhaps you have a favorite section in the magazine. Maybe it is the beauty section or maybe something else. Hit us up 011-883-3343. We also reading your tweets on Twitter at TouchHDOnline. Hashtag the next level.
You can be mad at me, tell me I was born to quit, I was checking, go. Or you could just freak with me, said it again, let the numbers roll. I hear that about you, baby, it's back when the city's cold. Don't ever look at me like that. It's just in the days I know. It's just in the days I know. I am a broken screen, I'm a mad routine. It's just bottom none and I'm over it. I am the distant voice, I'm inside your head and you don't know me. I am over it.
Why you mad at me? Tell me I was born to quit. I was checking gold. You should just freak with me, and let the numbers roll. I'm made by the fire. I'm waiting back where the city's cold. Well, don't ever look at me like that. It's just in the days I've known. It's just in the days I've known. I'm a broken screen. I'm a mad routine that just bottomed out, and I'm over it. I'm a distant voice on inside your head, and you don't know me, and I'm over it.
Yo, new black king, New York dream. Tell these motherfuckers everything I'm seeing. My world's darker than the young black dream of the first black prince of a new white king. I just wanna play, have it my way. Make a bunch of fucking rules and tell them obey. They can fuck with me, yeah, OJ. First name government, know him, I slay. New black king, oh, new black king, yeah. New black king, oh, obey.
I am a broken screen, I'm a map routine. It's just bottom down and I'm over it. I am the distant voice, I'm inside your head and you don't know me.
Get in touch with us on @TouchHD online via Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And download the app on iTunes and Google Play or on our website www.touch-hd.com.
Corruption steals from the public and undermines service delivery and economic growth. The Gauteng provincial government has stepped up efforts in the fight against corruption by collaborating with civil society organizations and state institutions, including the Special Investigating Unit. Through these collaborative efforts, the government acts swiftly in dealing with reported incidences of alleged corruption. Those implicated in fraud and corruption will be charged and prosecuted. Join the fight against corruption. Report bribe, fraud, unethical, or any other suspicious activities that you are aware of. Call 080 11 11 633. Whistleblowers will be protected. Visit www.thehotline.co.za for more information. Together, fighting corruption, promoting integrity.
Get in touch with us on @TouchHD online via Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And download the app on iTunes and Google Play or on our website www.touch-hd.com.
Ooh, hey Lauren.
Hey.
You good over there?
I'm good.
All right, cool. And now I was just double checking if you're still with us. So recently it was revealed that Somizi is now the face of that other makeup brand. So did you ever think that here in South Africa we would have a man as a face of a makeup brand here in South Africa? Because I know it was not like the first in the world, a man being a face of a makeup brand. But in South Africa, do you think we would ever have that?
To be honest, in my opinion, it never really, I don't know, because the media space I've been in has always been very inclusive of, you know, men, women, everything.
Yeah.
So it didn't really cross my mind. But from a marketing point of view, no, I didn't think that would, you know, be an option.
Yeah.
And I think it's an incredible time to be part of this media space at the moment, because we're celebrating, you know, diversity. We're celebrating all things, you know, fabulous to do with men, women. So yeah, I think it's great that brands are, you know, there is a global trend currently where they are celebrating diversity. So I think it's wonderful. I think it's a good thing.
Carl?
And what I wanted to also find out, just going back to your journey, like, was the end goal always to be into beauty? And what was the first job that you actually had which made you realize, okay, this is the path I have to follow and spend years and years working towards?
Well, it's interesting because I was originally a model, and I modeled for many, many years from a young age. And I was always involved on set. And often the work I would do or get booked for was beauty work. To do with skincare, you know, makeup, etc. And so I always had like a natural pull towards that side of things. And yeah, I suppose I always knew I wanted to go into media in some form of another. And yeah, I just so happened to start interning. But yes, I did always know that I wanted to go into beauty because it's something I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
I love researching about skincare products.
Yeah.
I love trying them out. And I love like going a bit deeper. You know, it's beauty isn't only skin deep.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, it goes a lot deeper than that in terms of chatting about health, wellness,
Yes.
you know, mind, body, balance. Yeah, there's a lot more to it than just a pretty face.
You actually mentioned that you were very much involved on set as a model initially. What are some of those misconceptions that people have had about you as a beauty editor? Do some people think you give massages? or some people think you physically do makeup? Like these days, if I go to Lauren, I'm like, yo, Lauren, give me a face beat. Beat me up right now. Or beat up this face. What are some of those misconceptions that people always have about your career because of your title? Oh, Lauren, the beauty editor. Has someone ever asked you if maybe you do spas or something?
Well, I mean, a big part of my job is to actually go and review spas and like
terrible times. You get to review the most amazing products. You get to go to spas.
I mean,
I would say,
she
yeah.
probably even gets a lot of freebies. She even gets a lot of freebies, I'm sure.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely, I'm sure, right?
I think that's the biggest misconception is that like I get a lot of freebies and I
Okay.
get to just like do whatever with them. A lot of the time, you know, a lot of products don't actually suit me, so I need to ask my team to please like review them for me.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all got different skin types.
I was going to say, you know,
Yeah,
like it can't really
so-
just be your job when you get a bucket
Yeah,
of
because-
product.
Exactly.
I was like, aren't you scared when there's a lotion here? Aren't you scared to
Yeah.
there trying it out on your face? Aren't you scared? What do you look for when a product comes and they're like, hey, Lauren, please test this out? What do you look for in the product?
Well, I mean, I try a lot of product and I do usually try and always test as many products as I can, but I always look for what will suit my skin type.
Okay.
It is so important to know your skin type, you know, because otherwise, you know, you might be putting on a product and you've got a sensitive skin and it's actually for someone who's got a oily skin and you're going to get a reaction. So I look for, you know, research, innovation. I look for a lot in a beauty product actually because I need to bring that information across through to the readers.
Yes.
And it needs to be well researched and correct.
Yes.
So yeah, I look for a lot of things.
Would you encourage young people or anybody who's interested into getting into the beauty industry to go to school, like for a beauty school, a makeup school, somatology? Would you encourage people to do that in order to get into the career field that you're in?
I mean, that would be a good thing to do, but I think the biggest thing would be to get a degree in journalism,
Okay.
as well as immerse yourself into, you know, magazines, get internships, and go and try out different departments of a magazine and see. But if you want to get into beauty, I mean, yeah, anything to do with studying the skin or being a makeup artist will definitely hold you in high stead because then you really understand, you know, what you are writing about.
Yes.
And exactly like when you got into beauty, it was always a passion of yours, you know. So I'm sure there's a balance between that as well, where you make your passion your work, but also you don't let it compromise the love that you have for it, right?
For sure, definitely. I mean, again, I'm always talking about balance, but
Yeah.
it's
No,
about
'cause this is the thing,
it's
so-
getting that balance.
So many people will get into something that they love and then it becomes their everyday task and they eventually like forget what they actually got
Yeah.
into it for, you know.
Exactly.
So I mean that's awesome that you can and you have gone through all of this to like insane heights. So
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you. It's been a lot of hard work.
which is great because then you can always say, listen, you have to work for something because people always think that
Yeah.
things just happen overnight. And
Yeah.
this happens in so many cases that there are artists, there are people in high positions or there are corporates where people think, okay, cool, how did you get there? But they never forget the journey up until the moment that you know somebody's name.
For sure.
Correct,
For sure.
correct.
10
Lauren,
years in the game.
What is your definition of beauty? Your personal definition of beauty?
Sure. In my opinion, beauty is being confident. You know, celebrating yourself in terms of just being kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Look after yourself. You are very important. And so beauty to me is about embracing all those wonderful things about yourself and showing it to the world, and putting yourself out there and being like, hey, this is me and I like me. And, you know, practice self-care. Take those, you know, self-care Sundays to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what beauty means to me.
I was ticking the box there, Carl. Guess is beautiful. This girl.
All weekend long.
Yes, you check.
I was like, okay, check. Confident, check. All right, cool. Thank you so much for making time to hang out with us, Laura.
It's a pleasure.
Lauren. So what's the
Thank
future
you.
for Al Magazine? What's the direction? Are you guys looking into hiring younger people or even males into the beauty department of the magazine? Is that an option, or is it currently happening actually?
So at the moment, our August issue is out on shelf, and where we are celebrating women. I mean, we celebrate them all the time, but we are focusing. We've got an amazing feature on women who are excelling in their fields and their mentors. So that's cool to check out, and that's our August issue on shelf now. And there are always internships going at Al. So, you know, it's just about getting hold of us and
inquiring about them.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a lot of interns currently. So it's always just
a good
about
thing,
availability, which is great. So we're always about upskilling, empowering, and, you know, giving young creatives, you know, a stepping stone, or even just the valuable knowledge of how, you know, this industry works, and for them to also see like, hey, is this for me? So yeah, we always have internships, so people can just mail us.
We're not going to give your personal details.
No, not personal.
Can we slide into the DMs though? Are those
Slide
DMs
into the
open?
DMs, slide into the Twitter DMs.
Where do we find you online on social media? Instagram and Twitter?
So at Al South Africa, we've got al.co.za, and then obviously on Twitter it's at Al South Africa and at Al South Africa on Instagram.
Such a big platform. Carl. We're blessed to
Better
have
believe
such
it.
a presence. We just had beauty renowned in the studio.
You feel better already, huh? Yeah. Lauren, thank you so much for hanging with us here.
Thank you so much.